Tell you something, London Weekend Television have cleaned you up a bit. Where's the beard gone to?
Well, I'm sorry about that, but I only had it for a film, to be honest with you, and so I took it off. It was the Britt Eklund story. And, I played an armpit. Anyway, It is Sunday afternoon. I've got to be careful.
That's very true. But tonight you would have to be so careful. Actually, it must be really exciting for you, this new batch of live shows from a theatre. Smashing.
It's gone the circle, and it was 20 years ago that I first went on the Palladium. And then I thought, you know, it was just a laugh, and I was a kid. Because of the Beatles and everything, and they put me on. And all of a sudden, now, here I am, and I'm one of the old men of the business now. And it's really nice, and I just hope that there's a young 22-year-old comic that comes on, and I'll treat him like Bruce treated me, because Bruce was great to me when I was a kid. And I hope that I'll be able to say in 10 years' time, well, I gave him a start. And I really, you know, it's great. We've got a lot of established stars and Americans and the best of British and the best of theirs, so it should be exciting.
Who's coming in tonight, for example?
Well, there's a fantastic show in America called Sophisticated Lady, and it's a tribute to Duke Ellington. And they've closed that show down on Broadway and flown the cast over for tonight's show. And we've got one of the greatest comedians in the world, but she's a lady called Phyllis Diller, who's marvellous. And then we've got Save Your Love, My Darling, Save Your Love.
I tell you what, if you'd be Renato, I could be Rene or Rini, couldn't I?
Well, you know, you've seen the video. I don't mind. Anyway, it's up to yourself. That would look nice on This Is Your Life. And now laying next to you, here we go, Gloria.
How did you like live television?
I haven't done a live show for so long. It'll be a bit nerve-wracking, because all the mistakes... I mean, Frosty said it before. All the mistakes are shown. And you're shown that you're human. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's really exciting. I was saying, you're not going to do that. Dun, 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 dun. None of those sort of revolving stages and
No,
things.
do you know the first time I went on the Palladium was in 1963, and I really just wanted to go on that roundabout. I did. And the top of the bill the night I was first on was Xavier Cugat and Abby Lane, the band leader. And they had the band on the stage, and I didn't get to go on the roundabout. And I really thought in those days, I thought I'll just only go on here once. And I'll never have that thrill of going round and waving. But, you know, God was good and everything turned out that I did go on it a few times, which was great.
As you were saying, though, I mean, at 22, you were hosting that series, but, I mean, you cut your teeth those the 3 years prior to that in the working men's clubs in the north.
That's right.
Tough business.
Sure. But, I mean, funny days. I mean, great fun. I mean, great fun. And I wouldn't take... I've been very lucky, and... I wouldn't take anything back that happened then. It was really smashing days.
Did you ever die of death in any of them?
Oh, God, many a time. I mean, all the jokes you hear. I mean, I went on one night and you used to have to do 4 spots. You used to have to go on 4 times. And I died to death twice, and they were playing bingo. And there was a lot of noise. And a fella says, if you don't shut up while they're calling the numbers, we'll put that bloody comedian back on. And it was terrible. I mean, and you're waiting at the bar worrying. But I was a boy. I mean, I really was a kid. And I went on a strip show once. I know it's Sunday afternoon, but I did when I was a boy. And I couldn't believe all these ladies were getting undressed in the corridor, and I'm waiting to go on. And they're going, hello, Santa, you all right? And I'm going, oh, yes. And I'm going home to my mother, and she's saying, how was it? I'm saying, oh, it was very good. Yes, exactly. And the old man says, what's up with your eyes? They were out on stalks. Really nice.
Were you a funny kid when you were at home?
Cheeky.
Cheeky.
But I came from a very funny house. I mean, my mother, God rest her, was a really funny lady, and so was the old man. I mean, I used to... Laughter abounded, and so it was smashing. I had a great upbringing, I had great encouragement from my mum and dad, and the biggest thrill for me of all the success, they saw it all. Unfortunately, they're not here anymore, but they saw a lot of it. It was really great, that.
Didn't your mum have a really good night at the Palladium once?
Oh, I introduced her in the audience. She stood up like the Queen Mother, waving. She had a new hat on. She was waving away. And I mean, I just got a great kick out of there. Her name was Frances, and they called her Fanny Tarbuck was her name. And she was always in the bingo and all. She was like just an ordinary, real mum. And she used to send me on mad messages. Go to the butcher's and ask him for a sheep's head. And ask him to leave the back legs on. And I'd go, and the butcher would batter me. You know, and so that was lovely. But she never understood. I mean, she never understood that I was a comedian. she used to be sat in the audience going, listen to him. Oh, Jimmy, yes, listen to him. He's mad, isn't he? And I mean, that's how her approach was. She came to Blackpool to see me one time. She phoned me up, and I was top of the bill, big star, dressing room. Your mother's on the phone. Hello, Ma. I'd like to bring some friends to see you. Bring them along. So I've said to the doorman, my mother's coming tonight. Make sure. He said, no problem. I said, give her the full treatment. Bang. So I'm waiting in the room like, your mother's here, Mr. Tarbuck. I said, send her up. I thought she was bringing 4 friends. She brought a shatterbang full of women from the bingo, and 40-odd women came in the dressing room, and I'm going, Mother, I said, I can't get them all in here. And she said, now we'll all have champagne. And I said, well, I never had no money on me or nothing. I'm trying to go and get me some champagne. She listened to it, and then she went. And that was her. She was priceless.
Yeah, but you noticed a bit of a practical joker yourself, and wasn't there something about a fire engine when you were a kid?
Oh, wow, when I was a kid. I've played the best one for ages lately. I've lost a bit of weight because I went to Health Farm and I went to play golf one afternoon with a fella called Mike Silver, and I'm getting in his car and he had a suit hanging up and he's a smashing lad. He said, ask them to put that in my room. This is gospel truth. So I've gone into the desk. I said, is there an Oxfam shop near here? So the fella said, well, there's one in Guildford, Mr. Tarbuck. I said, well, this suit won't fit me anymore. I said, send that to Oxfam from me. He said, oh, thanks very much. He said, they'll really be thrilled with that. I said, no problem. So we go and play golf, this fella. And, of course, he forgets about the suit. We, consequently, I leave on the Friday, he leaves on the Saturday, and he's phoned me since. He's gone to the desk, he said, I've lost the suit. They said, what was it like? Grace said, oh, no, Mr. Tarbuck sent it to Oxfam. He's gone down the Oxfam shop in Guildford, and there it is, and he's had to buy it for a tenner. So I was really thrilled with that. And Mike, if you're watching, I apologise again.
I tell you what, though, tell me that story about the fire engine, because I know you told it in Parky's show once,
well,
but I love
it's just that my gran was still alive, and she was, you know, an old frail lady, and the old man had a phone put in the house. He was a bookmaker, my dad. I was his first gamble. And I picked it up one, you know, you're a kid, I picked it up. I went, the house is on fire. So, and I put the phone down, and of course the operator panicked. And the next minute, me and these pals of mine, there was an allotment by the house. We all went in there. I said, watch. And this fire engine came turning round the corner, and they've all rushed in, and only my old gran was in. She went, blah, 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 and she was looking in all the fireplaces for all the fires. I mean, it was... I got battered when the old man got home. I mean, I really got murdered.
I was thinking, with all this work you're going to be doing now on a Sunday, live telly, big shows, big American stars, your golf is really going to suffer over the next few weeks.
Not really. I can practice. And, you know, you must practice if you like it as much as I do. And I do. I mean, Gloria, I love being out in the countryside and all that. And, you know, I like playing golf. I can't help that. I don't want to bore people at home. I'm a golf nut. But that's it.
But you met a lot of great people through it. I mean, Bob Hope, for example. I mean,
you know, I've been in Bob Hope's home only because I've played golf. And I did a show with him in California, in Los Angeles, with a load of big American stars, but only because I played golf. I mean, I was in bed in Glen Eagles, a hotel up in Scotland, and the phone went and the voice went, I've got to try and do this. Hello, Tabby, this is Bing here. Want to play a little golf in the morning? Come down and play a ball. And I said, is that you, Lynchy? I said, no, this is Bing Crosby. You want to play? And I went, yeah, I couldn't believe it. I said, yeah, I'll be there, Bing. He said, we'll play at about 9 o'clock on the tee. I was there at 7:30 waiting and playing. I was telling everyone playing golf with Bing Crosby in 2 hours, yeah. And there he was. He came out, this man who we'd seen in Going My Way and White Christmas. We'll just play for £5. OK, Tarby? I said, that'll suit me. And it was really incredible, you know. I played golf and things like that, and it's just nice. And,
of course, it works both ways, because when you got to know Bob Hope, I mean, Bob was very impressed by your comedy, by your act, and, I mean, didn't he introduce you in the States and all sorts of things?
Yes, he was lovely. He said, in America, he said, there's a young man in the audience, he said, he's from England. He said, you won't have heard of him. He said, but he's a very, very funny young man. I haven't been called a young man for years. And he said, he's just going to do 5 minutes. And I went on, and I did well, and I flew the flag for us and all that. 25 minutes later, he walked on the stage, he went, get off. He said, I'm the fan. He was lovely. But, I mean, I've had lots of funny things playing. I mean, I played with Ronnie Corbett one day. When he played 9 holes, Corbett fell in 6. You know, when people, I have been accused by my peers, they said he spends his time on the golf course. Yes, I do. But I play in a lot of charity games, and I've got a lot of great friends like Henry Cooper, Bruce Forsyth, Lynchy, Eddie Stewart. all of them give their time. Wogan, your great mate, but they give their time these days. And you play golf and these charity things, and we have a good time. Yes, we do. But at the end of it, underprivileged children benefit from it, and it's great, that. And so many folk in my business, or sportsmen, and certain MPs, they come along and they give their time, and at the end of it, people who are less well off than us benefit. So it's not a bad way of spending the day.
Well, it certainly isn't. And Jimmy, it's not a bad way to spend Sunday nights by watching you live from Her Majesty's. The very best of luck. It's
Thanks,
going to be
Gloria.
Great.
I don't know about that.
Well, we'll watch tonight, won't we? Jimmy Tarbuck.
Thank you.